How's it going? My name is John. I'm a software engineer with about 10 years of experience, and I'd like to help you land your next programming role. Today we're answering the question, how long does it take to learn to code? I ran into this Twitter thread. It'll be pinned in the comments. I thought it was really interesting. We're going to scroll through, try to get some of the nuance, and then the fun idea here is that I'm going to ask the GPT-4 code compiler to analyze it and build me a little report. So let's get this ready. GPT-4 with the code interpreter. We'll try and print this whole thing to PDF. Maybe I can't. Will it let me print it to PDF? Look, it's all blanked out. Bummer. I might have to grab it as text. Print tweet thread to PDF. Simply open it and save as PDF is what it says. And let's make sure we load all of these. This is a really long thread, right? The idea is that we can sort of chat about it while GPT does its thinking. It never ends. Okay, that looks like the end of it. Ironically, it never ends is the last post. It doesn't seem to be working, but we'll go ahead and try and see if that worked. The printed file is something about Hassan is in the name. Hassan. Thought I saved it to my... Look, none of the messages are showing, right? I thought I saved it Hassan. Oh, okay, it went inside of this subfolder. That's the issue. Yeah, no, it's definitely not working. Okay, let's grab it as text. I tried to do a quick Google to see if there were like a quick online service that would do this. Okay, so we will try to grab it as text. Let's grab it as text. Control A, Control C. Let's go to the token counter. This one. Just to make sure, do I have too much? Okay, so there's only like 800 tokens. Which seems really wrong, right? So you're not one of them. How much time? Let me remember one of the tweets. Ah, okay. I have to reload these. I thought it was more tokens than that. All the way till it never ends. There's going to be ads in here too. That's so annoying. Whatever. Hopefully GPT is smart enough to get past it. Let's try again. It still says 700 tokens. This is not right. It should be in the thousands. Yeah, it's only going through like this. Can't copy tweet to clipboard. I can do some press and hold the tweet and it will copy. Okay, that's not helpful. Let's do some JavaScript. This is fun, maybe, if it works. I wonder if Twitter is using a virtual, like a virtual scroll, basically, so that the other things are not even on there. Yep. Okay. So it's using a virtual scroll. That's the issue. So here is tweet text. Let me clear this. Document dot query selector all. We'll select by the tweet text attribute. I think I did that wrong. I think it should be like this. JavaScript expression to select all DOM elements with a tweet text attribute. This is what I did, right? Did I type it wrong? It's giving me an empty node list, but we can see them like right here. Oh, because that is the attribute value, not the attribute key. Oopsie. Cool, so now we have all the tweets. Okay, this is what I'm expecting, 484 tweets. So let's do this. Dot map L will go to, we'll do a template string. We'll interpolate L dot inner text. Map is not a function because we need to destructure them because they are DOM nodes and we want them to be an array list. So I can do this. Cool. Then we will join by /n. Join without the T. Cool. So let's copy this. And this is, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. About 8,000 tokens. What if I collapse these? Will that save me some tokens? The problem about 8,000, and that drops it. The problem about 8,000 is that it overflows the GPT context window, which I was worried about. So it may still be able to process it using the code compiler. But let's try something a little bit more rudimentary and just replace all. Basically, if there's a bunch of /n's, we only want it to have one. So we'll use a regular expression, and we'll replace with 1/n. So this is going to collapse multiple /n's. If I did it correctly, which I don't know. Called with a non-global regex argument. Okay, let's make it global. Nope, that didn't work. What is all this? I totally ruined it. That's awful. I want to replace multiple repeating instances of /n with just a single /n. So, for example, should become what replace expression should I use in JavaScript? Nice escape characters. Yeah, thanks. Cool. This is what I should have done. Okay, so we're back over here. And what did I do? I did replace all. So I should just use the generic replace like this. So let's try that. Boom, that's more like it. So let's copy this and my token number should go down. And now we're under 7,500. Boom. We love to see it. I wonder if I can also like filter out, I could do some more stuff to like get this smaller. I could like filter out non-UTF characters. I think this is good. So let's go with this. We're here in the code compiler. I think I need to save this to a file. So if I just drop this in right here, I don't think it's going to work. Given the below Twitter thread, create a data visualization of the distribution of the time it takes to learn to code. Ooh, it accepted that large block. I'm actually surprised it did that. For simplicity, as if they're the same unit years, we love to see it. Let's go. Okay, so while it's running its brain, let's scroll through and get some of the nuance, because turning it just into the number alone is going to miss some of the nuance. So about a weekend if you ask Hacker Noon. So there's jokes in there, right? That's some of the nuance. Somebody else said 0 days. 0 days, here's a hack, just go to r/slave labor, okay? That's another bit of nuance that GPT-4 is likely to miss. Here's another nuance, 3 to 6 months to learn Python and another few months to do front-end work. So when did they actually get their first job? Was that like 9 months? Was that another 3 to 6 months to program on top of that? The question here is specifically about learning to code. And the answers fall into 2 buckets. One answer says the skill of coding. The other is landing the job. So 6 months to get my first developer job. This is on the lower end of what I saw among serious responses. 3 to 4 months, you can start handling some tasks, and then codes start teaching you how to code. So that's like phrased awkwardly, right? I think what Ahmad here is indicating is sort of your basics. Say you go to a coding bootcamp, you will also often have to do some preparatory learning to even get into the coding bootcamp. And I think that is what Ahmad is trying to reflect here, but I don't know that ChatGPT is going to pick up on that. And then there's a bunch of people who just say like it's a lifetime, like you never stop learning, which I agree with. So they're answering slightly different questions. So I'm really interested in how long it takes people to learn to code and land their first programming role. And based on my information, so personally that took me about 9 months. And I think that's true for most people, is that they'll learn to code in about 6 months and then they'll land the job in another 6 months. I have some research on coding bootcamp and online course efficacy. Duration is highly significant in every model that I tested, positively linear and negatively quadratic. So that means diminishing marginal returns. And at some point, it's too long. So you can look for this paper. This is 3 essays in economics of post-secondary alternative learning. Look for the keyword duration, and you can work out the math. Of course, there's other components to consider. Employers of different sizes have different attitudes. And interestingly, the largest employers it's just interesting that the employer size seems to matter. Although only this one has the significance on them. So coding bootcamps often fall into this range of 6 to 9 months as well. And then it can take an additional time for people. So the best coding bootcamps will tend to fall into this range of 6 to 9 months, and it will take some additional months to land the job after that. To find some of the best coding bootcamps, you can go to Course Report, browse all schools, sort by most reviewed, and then look for the rating. By the way, check out latterly.io. Link is in my bio. I teach people to program and land their first programming role. You'll get a step-by-step checklist to do so. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with an interested friend. Let's see if there's a little bit more nuance, which there is. Hassan actually asks about the job. How much time, so this person says how much time, all of it, how much time it takes for someone to become ready for the first job. So we have to dive into the response. This is going to be another thing that's missed by the ChatGPT approach we just took. And author Leishman says, he doesn't give a specific number, but he says, if you know PHP, React, and a few frameworks, you can get a job fast. C# is trickier. So this is another nuance that GPT in our simplistic analysis is going to miss, is that which skills you learn are going to influence that rate. And I do agree you should learn React is what I recommend, and try to go full stack. Okay, so with all these caveats, we should be ready to look into the visualization. Here's the histogram. So it gives me a script which I can run locally, but let's see. Can you present this image for me to view in the browser? Oh, can you make this? Can make the image downloadable. Make the image downloadable. So it gave me a script that I could run locally, but I want it to just let me look at the finished product. Coding will be replaced by AI soon, question mark. Yes and no. So it's doing some of the coding for me. So you could say it's replacing some of my coding, but it hasn't taken my job. So AI helps us program. I apologize for the confusion. It seems there was a misunderstanding. I currently don't have any data to create a histogram. The instructions you've seen were examples of how I could process a data set if it was provided. Can you please provide the data or clarify what you need? Okay, so I may need to end up running this locally. We'll see. This text block is the raw data. We should process it to create a histogram. We should process it to extract sample responses about the time it took for individuals to learn to code. Okay, so it seems like GPT was just like giving me, it seems like GPT didn't get the message that I wanted to actually do the data cleaning. Maybe I should have it let me download a CSV or JSON of the data as well. So define the raw data, that's working. I can go ahead and download this locally. So there's only one. End of file while scanning triple quoted literal string. Why did that error occur? And what can we do to resolve it? It may have ran into a non-ASCII character. So I'm going to grab these elements, and that will find a text area and download it to sample.txt. We can try to modify the continue or execute this plan. Execute this proposal. While it carries on, I'm going to update the DOM here and inject just anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Edit as HTML. I'm going to inject this button. Bam. So now I have this button. Let me change the script. I don't want to call it sample.txt. I want to call it raw thread.txt. Okay. So we'll save it. Refused to execute because it violates this thing. Bummer. All right, well, I'll just make a file. So let's open up the IDE. I was trying to do this without an IDE. So I have a repository for little data experiments. I guess I'll throw it in there. AI snacks. This is open source. Feel free to go check it out. I'll end up pushing everything over here. So we're going to git clone AI snacks, add it to the workspace. Let's make a new folder, which is time to learn coding Twitter thread. Okay. CD into AI snacks, into time to learn coding Twitter thread. We will touch raw thread text.txt. We will touch readme.md. Okay. See the YouTube video at to do. I'll have to update that after I publish. Based on the Twitter thread. Okay, and then here is the raw txt file. Cut that and paste it here. Now these line breaks are like not real line breaks, which is kind of a bummer. And then there's an example. Did you see that there was a non-UTF character there? So here we can do semi-clean.txt, and we will have a cleaner.py. And I'm just going to strip the non-UTF characters, basically. We don't have any raw data. Okay. Write a Python script that will read a plain text file at raw thread text.txt. Filter non-UTF characters and write the output to semi-cleaned.txt. Also, if /n is encountered in this file, it should be replaced with a proper line break. So now we're just full on doing some data cleaning, which is fine. GPT is fully confused at this point. So I'm going to grab this code and start a whole new chat.
I'm going to a dance class.
Any chance you want to bring me an energy drink before you hop?
Sure.
Thank you. And a water. You rock. Okay, so this time, the previous chat, we saw that GPT had an anchoring bias. It thought I was referring to its directory, which I wasn't. And in this new chat, without context, it does the right thing. So here we have cleaner. Now I will Python 3 cleaner. Raw plain text, because I didn't call it that. It's raw thread text. My bad. That's fine. Whoa, caps lock is on. Okay, and now we have semi-cleaned output. So let me delete semi-clean and we'll retain semi-cleaned. Thank you so much. Have fun.
You're welcome. Love you.
And we can see this is basically still the stuff. This is basically still the stuff. Just for kicks, let's see how many tokens this is now. Cool, so we eliminated like 1,000 tokens of non-UTF characters. And I don't think we had any significant information loss.
I love you, Ellie girl. Mommy, I forgot something. What?
So I'm gonna go ahead and stage these. This is feet, cleaner, and thread and thread content.
You're the best, Sam and Ellie. I'll see you later. Have fun. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Daddy.
Create a downloadable
I believe you. histogram
on the basis of the let's not do the histogram straight away. Let's do one step at a time. Given the attached semi-clean.txt, create a downloadable CSV file that how can I explain what I want to do to GPT here? Let's just do role context task. Role, we are expert Python programmers and data analysts. Context. The attached semi-cleaned.txt file contains a raw text dump based on a Twitter thread. In this thread, individuals discuss how long it took them to learn to code. There is, should I say that there's a bit of humor in some cases? Some cases, and in some cases, individuals provide the time it took only to learn the skill of programming, and in other cases, individuals describe the time it took to learn to code and land a professional programming job. Text. Create a downloadable CSV that records observations in an analyzable way so that we can later answer two questions. What was the, how was the median time to learn to code as a skill? What was the median time to learn to code and land a programming job? Okay. Oh, and then I didn't upload the file. Wow, I'm so dumb. Sorry, that's on me. So we're editing this. Oh, I'm so dumb. Let's do a whole new chat. Good thing I have the context and everything right here. So we're going to go to, where is it? My workspace, AI snacks, time to learn, semi-cleaned.txt. Okay. What are you doing there, bro? We're doing some data analysis. Thanks for the heart me. Awesome. Thanks for sharing the live. Oh, and we got some LinkedIn and YouTube interaction. What's going on, y'all? Hey, Kartik, thanks for being here. Probably there's a character limit to text box. Right. I was expecting, so here we're using the July 20 version, so maybe things have changed. But I was expecting if I give it too large of a request, it will error out, because that's what it did like last week. But when I upload the file, it shouldn't have that same issue. And in addition, the file is under 7K tokens now anyway. Good points. If you're on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube and see the full screen. Ooh, look, it's already doing some cleaning for me. The file appears to contain a variety of information, not all of which we need. We're primarily interested in the content of those tweets. It's not in a structured format. Good, that's well said. You see how the LLM is bringing in the relevant vocabulary. I didn't mention that word, but it described it exactly right. I called it semi-cleaned, and it was able to understand that that is also unstructured currently. I love that it clarifies the assumptions. I will put all of these 3 chats so I can make a shareable chat link, and I will make all of these 3 chats available in the README of the GitHub and also in the YouTube video. This will require some natural language processing. You love to see the LLM programming doing natural language processing analysis. You love to see it. We'll assume that if a tweet mentions landing a job, the time duration refers to time taken to learn to code and landing a job. I love it. That's exactly what I would have done. D. Palmo, thanks for the follow. So while that processing is going on, quick plug, you can check out laterally.io. The link is in my bio. This site will teach you how to code. There's a standard checklist that walks you through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, TypeScript, and the job search, which is just as difficult as learning to code itself. Check it out, check it out. You can sign up for free. It's not only free, it's open source, which I think is better than free. And for as little as $1 a month, you can unlock an advanced checklist and some other really cool stuff, like a consultation with me, if you want. Download cleaned CSV. Okay, so here I am going to go ahead and grab these links. README, related public GPT chats, chat records. And this is, let's give them their titles. So we have select tweet text, filter UTF data. Like this would be scraping the raw text. And this is this is like a partial clean, basically. partial clean. Recipient won't be able to view code interpreter images or downloadable files. That's fine. Cleaner data. Hopefully we get the visualization out of this. Okay, so we have the download cleaned data. Now create 2 histograms. Stop. Go to your room, Sam. Go to your room. I don't want you two fighting. Create 2 histograms, one for the time taken to learn to code, and the other for getting a professional job. Open source, free, with option to improve it yourself or join the team. Bug hunt can be side job. Yep. Hey, we got the visualization. Hey, this doesn't look right though. Time, months, frequency 12. Why is it 0 and over 400? So it's looking like between 0 and between 0 and 40 years. Provide some descriptive statistics. I think that is not correct based on our earlier look through of the data. Okay, wait in your room. Let's look at this cleaned data. There are, over 100 rows. Rows are repeated multiple times. I took my time, was during COVID, and there were no jobs anyway, so they ended up with 48 months. Some rows are repeated. E.g., I see this 3 times. So it's only giving, in mean is 177.6 months. So it's only giving me 6 samples. Stay in your room. I think one issue is that in cases like this, It is, I don't even see this at all. Took me. The more you talk, the longer you're staying up there. So stay in your room. In the original text, let's make sure it's in the text that I fed it. Here's the raw thread text. We don't want that. We want semi-cleaned. Took me 3 to... Oh, it's not even here. How did it get washed out? Okay. Let me redo this, I guess. Okay, so let me grab this style. We'll get this style of raw thread text. Oh no, I need to scroll down the page, don't I? Okay, no, this is still getting pretty much what I want. Okay, so given this new block, am I able to access what I expected I could see? Took me 3 to 6 months. There it is. Took me 3 to 6 months to learn Python for data processing. Okay, so we're going to start over, and I'm not going to tell it that it's semi-cleaned because this one is not. But it seemed to do the right thing. I don't want that. I want this prompt here. We are expert Python programmers. Da 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 da. Non-cleaned or like what is it called? Raw thread text. Raw thread text. .txt file contains a raw and unstructured text dump based on a Twitter thread. Create a downloadable CSV that records observations. Good. So this seems good. John Mosteler, thanks for the follow. I see. What's something you recommend to have a good standard idea of everything to learn? I don't know. I feel like I jumped in the middle of a conversation without some context there. Cool, cool, cool. So this would be second pass with rescraped thread text. Poppy Sensei, we love to see it. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and follow, share it with an interested friend. We're doing some data analysis today. Usually I focus on programming, software engineering, but a little bit of data analysis never hurt anyone. Actually, it's good to do this to some extent. You don't want to just be coding, even as a corporation, you don't want to just be building things all day and never doing any research. You need to prioritize research to some extent. Given the complexity of this task, the most efficient way might be to manually process the text. Wow. GPT is throwing in the towel, y'all. We should treat A and 1 a couple. So apparently there's a bunch of observations that are like 3 or fewer. It's possible we've extracted the same duration multiple times. Okay, so we save that. So here is durations. I like how it called it durations as well, which is the same terminology I used in my paper, but I never gave it my paper. Cleaned data. Let's go ahead and take a look at this durations file. Learning and job, that's all it says. Learning and job. So are these in days? This is not good. This is not good because, as it said, we could have visualized it multiple times. Provide the completed cleaning script. We'll do step by step. Steve, thanks for the gamepad. Can LLM take a PDF and generate a search on it? Yes, it can. Okay, so we will save this as GPT cleaning script.py, and we'll commit this. But we know that this is not good. We know that this is not good because we could have gotten duplicate results, right? So time patterns, how does the time patterns work? For patterns and units and time patterns. And then we're just building this durations map. Could it be, given the implementation of time patterns, might we be repeatedly selecting, scraping, or parsing out the same data under multiple iterations. Always keep a game semi-hidden but readily available for those long compilations. It's a pro tip. However, these approaches would still have limitations and might not perfectly handle the unstructured nature of the text. Okay, so it's not getting to the right answer. I think we want a column which is like a user ID. I'm not going to say I think, I'm just going to say implement. We don't want selection bias here. We're not going to have an oversampling, redundant sampling, or selection bias here. Unfortunately, the initial examination of the text file didn't reveal any clear patterns that we could use to extract usernames and user IDs. So it's not finding the usernames. Let's go back through this thread text. If it starts with an @ symbol, that is a username. We can generate the user ID ourselves. You know what, dude? We can generate the user ID. Let's only go by username and forget about user ID. The usernames are written like, and I'll give it a few examples. Go to your room, Sam.
Sorry, Dad. Why should I stay in there?
Because you're still in trouble.
But that was a long time since I should be out.
Sam, you don't get to pick when you get done being in trouble. That's not how that works. Few shot is much better than zero shot, right? So few shot means I give it some examples. Here I gave it 3 examples. And we know that improves performance. So if GPT is running into a wall, just give it some examples about what you were trying to have it do. Iterate over each line. If you're iterating over each line, doesn't that mean you should split by the /n? Are you using GPT-4? Yes, I am, with the code compiler. Let's save the data frame as a CSV for future analysis. Oh, it's music to my ears. I love a good saved data frame. Smoke are cool. Very impressed by you. Very active on social media, day job, and also family. Much love. Thank you so much, Smokar. Thanks for being here. This one is called user responses. Let's take a look at those user responses. Bruh, this is so bad. Okay. The issue is that it's not splitting by. The data has still not been properly cleaned or prepared. Create a a GPT semi-cleaned.txt file that replaces instances of with proper line breaks. So we really need to handhold it, basically.
More apple juice?
More apple juice?
Yeah.
How about water for now? And I'll give you apple juice in 10 minutes. Come here, Miss Ellie. Sam, you can come down now.
Dad, thank you for letting me come down.
You're welcome. Hey, Sam, can you come here?
Yeah.
Can you take this to your sister? Thank you.
And can I say something?
What?
Ellie was trying to pick a game, but I had my iPad first, but she was also trying to take my iPad.
I know, buddy, but you can't get in a fight with her because of that. Now try to identify unique usernames based on the GPT semi-cleaned file. Now try, yeah. Now regenerate the user responses file. Yeah, code compiler is kind of overrated, isn't it? Ugh. Unless you have like a real cleaned input. You basically, if you start with like a really clean input CSV, it can whip up some graphics really quickly, and that's kind of impressive. But as we're seeing, if you start with unstructured data, it's like, I don't know if it's even junior level data analyst material. Which is kind of strange because you would think an LLM would be able to deal with unstructured stuff quite well. What is this text clipping? Semi-cleaned.text clipping. What is that? .txt. Oh, is it not a? It was not a text file? It's totally a text file. I wonder what happened there. Okay, this looks good. GPT semi-cleaned, and then here is the, oh. Whatever. Init user responses, we're going to commit this so that we can overwrite it with the new one. Replace By the way, what's that plugin on ChatGPT you're using? It's the code compiler. Look at these user responses. It's still finding 5 responses. And it says the username is few. I just want to know, how is it even doing this? Few is neither prepended nor few is. It's not even close to an amp. Okay, we agreed that usernames look like this. In your generated user responses.csv, you have few listed as a username, which is not like any of the examples. Rewrite the user responses.csv parsing strategy completely. Prog Coder. What up, what up, what up? What's up, Will? Thanks for being here and thanks for the follow. Wow, I definitely thought that I was going to walk in here and have a data analysis done in 10 minutes because I would just give a link to ChatGPT, and that was way off, wasn't it? We extracted the usernames. It seems we have a lot of empty responses and repeated usernames. That's the point, so we can identify them uniquely. So ChatGPT, this code compiler, didn't seem to be aware of the fact that we could run uniqueness by username, which is just a very basic uniqueness check. I don't know. I might be joining the GPT is getting dumber in recent years, or like recent weeks train. Today at 12:29, is that okay? So that's the new one. Okay, so now we have a good list. Well, this is better, but it demonstrates that it's not unique. We are now parsing usernames correctly, but we haven't parsed any durations for them. Here are a couple examples. We should also specify min, max, and point estimates for time to learn coding and time to land a job. Example, should yield actually this is the first time seeing ChatGPT giving links for download. It can do it. Windows is better. Kimmy is so funny. Thanks for sharing the live. I see you have cross-eyed mode enabled. Oh, yeah. What's up with that focus, huh? By the way, if you go over to YouTube, link is in my bio, you can see the full screen. All right, we're going to time box this to 10 more minutes. Yo, none of them have numbers. Look at this. No, none of the are being properly saved to file. The values are all empty. Mike, what up, what up? What are you working on? So we're trying to answer the question, how long does it take to learn to code and or land a programming role? And we have this great organic Twitter thread that cropped up with lots and lots of samples of people saying how long it took them. Got a job offer after 7 months, about 4 months full-time study. So we're seeing this pattern where landing the job, like learning to code and landing the job are both independently substantial time projects. From zero to front-end developer took me about 5 months. That's not super clear whether they're saying, I guess that means to land the job, right? Anyway, so we're trying to use Code Compiler to like add up all these samples and give us a nice distribution. And it's doing an awful job. 1 to 3 years in most cases. 2 weeks. All right, y'all. So it will take you somewhere between 2 weeks and 3 years to learn to code, which I do agree with. 6 to 12 months for the start. What does that mean? 30 years still learning. Yo, it is just utterly not working. Look at this. If a learning keyword is found, we'll find... Okay, so I think the problem is that it's implementing NLP incorrectly. This should be in the text. It's not in the semi-clean, so it got dropped somehow. In the raw thread text, it is also not here. Is that a newer tweet? 4 hours ago. How is stuff like this getting dropped? So it's not even there in the originally scraped data. Okay. Bummer. All right, so it turns out this is like a relatively tricky problem.
Howie, I took another picture of January.
1 to 3 year in most cases. Where's that tweet that I copied from? It seems to be like gone now. Speed of learning. Okay, and now it's there. So the text available is changing on scroll or something? So if I scroll to the top, it's not there anymore. Yeah. So it's a virtual, so Twitter is using a virtual scroll. Do they have any sort of unique identifier that I can use? I could have it. What is this? So every time I scroll, it's doing this. Is that right? I could write a JavaScript that builds a list in memory and scrolls and appends and then dedupes and does all this stuff. Wow, it really shouldn't be this difficult, I would think. Twitter has a closed API now, right? Yeah. Okay, so we can't get to them anymore. So a bunch of like the information on the internet about like how to get information out of Twitter is like now dated. Um This stinks. So I have to scroll and periodically snapshot and then manually resolve them. Okay, so I can resolve them on the text. Um, so do these blocks have a unique identifier that I can grab? Role article, it looks like. So each tweet is an article now, is that right? There's 29 of these. So are you an article at top? Ah, it's role article. No, it is actually an article. Okay. Data test ID tweet. What about you? Do you have a data test ID tweet? Now we're just full on doing like old school scraping, right? So here's the article entity, and it has a role article and a data test ID tweet. Okay, so we'll scrape article data test ID equals tweet. And I'm expecting to get a reference to this top one here. I don't know why I'm not. These elements are not having these elements are not having inner text. What's up with that? Query selector all.map is not a function. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I can basically hash these if I do it like this, if I snapshot them and hash them. I've definitely spent way more time than necessary at this point, but now it's just like an interesting problem to me. All right. So we are going to build our own CSV. So this will end up being a JSON file. Okay. Scroll scraping snapshots. Snap1.json. And I'll just have to roll through them like this. And what I want to confirm is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in every snap there is overlap. So I know that I didn't scroll too far. So I want to find some matches, but I want to find incomplete matches every time. And eventually we'll get to the bottom. Okay, so here I don't want to map the inner text. Or yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And then I have this array of 14. I'll just mention this little scroll or snapshot collection notes. I scrolled the thread and ran this to collect snap files. Do it without ChatGPT or Copilot. I mean, I basically am. It hasn't really been helping me, has it? Okay. So I've got these on my clipboard. Maybe I can do snap of snaps. Const snap of snaps equals an array. Okay, we have snap of snaps. Here I want to snap of snaps dot push this. Now I'm going to scroll. So we're loading the virtual. Cool. I defined an empty array called snap of snaps, scrolled Twitter virtual, scrolled Twitter to activate virtual scrolling, and periodically ran this. Ideally, every snap would overlap with a prior snap, so we know that we never scrolled too far. Let me take this over to ChatGPT. I had a problem scraping Twitter because I realized it uses virtual scrolling and rendering. So I have missing samples. In a new approach, is as follows. This allows me to save a JSON file, snap of snaps.json, please write a Python script that does two things. Read it'll do three things. Read snap of snaps.json, loop through the array, and ensure each subarray has overlap with the prior, so we have an unbroken chain of snapshots. Output a unique array. Output a single flat deduplicated array. Let's see if it can understand that problem. Isn't it called a list in Python, not an array? That's true, but this is not Python. So we're building up an array. Also, that's totally splitting hairs. And really, we're interested in the JSON contract here, the language agnostic contract. Cool, so let me copy this and we'll call this snap reader.py. Instead of printing, let's write the result to flattened thread.json instead of printing. Dict instead of object. Are y'all talking to each other? Here we have snap of snaps.json. Okay. All right, so here I am back in Twitter, and I want to json.stringify snap of snaps. Bam, and let's copy that. Okay. We'll paste it here into snap of snaps, save it. That is a big, big file. Bam. It broke prettier. It's so big that it broke prettier. Oh no, and look, I'm getting ... Oh no, okay, actually I think they put ... in their tweet. We can confirm that. Yeah. Okay, so they actually just put ... in the tweet. The kids are fighting over what you're coding in. They're not fighting, right? They're dancing. They're having a dance party. It seems like the snap of snaps JSON. I just mean let's update the script you sent me. You don't need to run anything at the moment. Yo, code compiler is not braining, yo. Kids in here. Oh, the kids in the comments. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's all I wanted it to do. So we got snap of snaps, and then in that case, I don't need this folder. Let's delete the folder. So here I will Python 3 snap reader. So this is like an invalid JSON maybe. Let me grab this on my clipboard. I'm going to go over to JSON validator. What's up?
Ellie hit me in the back of my neck.
Ellie, go sit on your circle. Bro, go spend time with your kids. I will. I mean, they're standing right there. They're like right there. But anyway. So what's the issue here? Okay, it's missing a comma. Is that the issue? Still stuck on hello world. Yeah, there's how did this even output from, this is invalid JSON. How did this even output from the browser? Chrome, you okay? Chrome is outputting invalid JSON from the browser. Can I reparse it? It parses itself just fine. Let's try this again. No? Let's filter or replace, like, replace. 2 more minutes, hon. Two more minutes, hon. Let's see if this one helps. So that breaks it. I heard you say that the first several times, Ellie. No, honey. You don't just get to say sorry and then you're out of trouble. I said 2 more minutes. All right, let's try to fix this manually. I feel like I shouldn't have to do this, but whatever. Yo, this ad is in my way. Truth GPT. What's the problem with Truth GPT? I don't get it. I think this validator is like wrong. So here's the 3129. These actually don't matter for the purpose of my study. How about now? I'm just deleting parts that don't matter for the purpose of my study. Oh, there we go. Now it's a good Jason. No overlaps found between snapshot 0 and 1. Okay. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up for today's stream. I will fix this later, and then I'll do like a non-streaming, like just like a little quick video on it. So keep an eye out for that. But apparently I have to like fix this data up more. But I think you got the general pattern here. I'm just going to have to go scroll and resnap until I'm able to get an unbroken chain. And then we'll be able to analyze at that point. All right, see you later. Thanks for being here.